to know our guest Caroline a little bit more, shall we? Very excited. So what is it like working on a reality show, especially one with all women? How has it changed your life?
It hasn't changed my life. It's added a different aspect to my life. I mean, it's definitely different. It wasn't how I imagined, but put 6 women in a room and film us for long enough,
Especially with like a cocktail.
Yeah.
Give me a glass of champagne and watch out.
Yeah, your mouth. And at the beginning you start off very nice, and by the end you just don't.
How did they pitch it to you?
They came, I said no for about a year and a half, and they came to London. I think 5 or 6 people had given my name to the producers, which was, I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think they thought that I had a mouth on me. And I knew what I was getting into. I'm a big Bravo fan, so I was fully aware of what kind of thing I was going into. Although they did dress it up as something else, that it was going to be very, much more civilized than it was, about our separate lives, I think. But now it's turned into what Bravo does best.
Yeah,
and
no,
actually, I'm glad.
obsessed.
It's fun. It's really watching it back. I really, really laugh.
And also, the viewers know, but for those of you who are just getting to know Caroline, you are quite the entrepreneur. You have 2 businesses, one of which, the gift libraries, which kind of you started from scratch. Absolutely,
Yes.
Build it to what it is today. So what inspired you to create that business?
I was a stylist for many, many years, and I worked for very high-profile people. And I would get home at night, and that's when I had to do all my shopping. And I just thought, God, there's nothing on the internet that brought everything, or easy gifts that you can ship worldwide from all my favorite stores. And I thought, well, I would use that. And I built the gift library. And it's just, I started at home with 1 person. I now have 58 employees, and I have 3 stores. And yeah, I don't know how it happened. One step at a time, and it just bloomed.
And your gifts are quite unique.
Yes.
Like, it's almost like a concierge service, if I could describe it that way, and how unique and niche oriented it is.
We do 2 very different things. One is a phone-in where you can bespoke make unbelievable things, and for those we look after most of the A-listers and royals and actors and Sony Music, people like this, all different types of people. But then we also have the website, which is just very cool, funky gifts. It's not about how much money you spend. I think we start at $5, but it's about finding quirky, fun. I'm all about the fun, so we have T-shirts with like "Don't do hugs" because that's my slogan, and mugs with selfish things that everything I found, and really fun, cute little things. The little necklaces with like "Taken" on it.
Your stamp of approval.
My stamp. Everything is chosen by me.
See, that's what's really important. And now you purchased the wedding shop, which was already well known, but you're rebranding it to be the wedding shop by Caroline Stanbury. So what do you hope to make of that?
Well, it's 3 stores. It's been around 20 years, and I have rebranded it totally. So there's 1 in Ireland, there's 2 in London, 1 in Selfridges, and there's a flagship store on the Fulham Road, which is 3 whole floors.
Whoa.
And there, I've created a creche for the men.
What is that? No.
I've never heard that before.
Like where you put your toddlers.
Oh, like a
Right?
daycare.
Daycare.
Okay.
So you drop off your husband in daycare while you go round and plan. So bad. Actually, I meant to say it's a library.
Oh. Okay, yeah. Where they can have a cigar?
It's a cigar room for the men.
Okay.
It's very grown up, but I had in mind library, daycare, same thing.
Yes, I love it, of course. I get it.
As a guy who's been dropped off in places like that, like on Montana Avenue, there's a store that like will give you champagne as the women's shop. It's the best thing. Like
Right.
I'm fine even if you call it daycare.
Well, I called it a creche, but everyone would say it's not PC, so I was like, you can't drop your husband off at a creche. So I was like, okay, well,
PC, who cares?
I don't care. I think it's genius.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I mean,
Coin it.
I wanted a creche to drop my husband off while I was doing like the, because we lay the tables. You don't want the husband who sat there going, oh, can we leave now? You spend 6 or 7 hours in there. You're doing your hair, your makeup, the venue. We plan the wedding. So all you have to do is while he's on, the Xbox, come back in and go, darling, do you like this glass? He's like, yeah.
That's actually
and it's
really
done.
brilliant. That is awesome because it gets them involved, and that's all that the bride wants.
And you get them in the mood to just go agree to everything.
Yeah, great everything. I'm there, and you just need him to pay at the end. It's brilliant.
I love it. And then also, I want to talk about the fact that the viewers, they see you as a girl that has it all. You've got the husband, you've got the kids, you've got the fancy house next to Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie, yes. You've got 2 successful businesses. Do you have it all? Do you pinch yourself? Is your life as glamorous as what we see on TV?
Yes, it is. I mean,
I knew it. I definitely knew it.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, to make everyone feel better, it is, but I worked very hard for that little bubble that I live in. And, you know, I think that I'm living proof that, you know, when I met my husband, I was in debt, so was he, and we built everything ourselves. And I do live a ridiculous lifestyle, but it's a lifestyle that I have built on my own.
Amen. We can relate in the sense that we hope to get there.
Right.
And we believe. So what would be your one bit of advice to people out there that have a big dream, they're budding entrepreneurs?
Don't give up. I had 2 businesses that did not succeed. I went bankrupt. Well, my husband did. I was in debt. I could have said, just given up and taken a job, and I didn't. And I restarted and I built it. I went and raised all that money. I have the founder of Carphone Warehouse and one of the largest investment funds in Europe that bought into my company. I have now 58 employees, and I did that on my own. And so I really look at everything I have, and I am spoiled, but I spoil myself. And I look at everything and I go, why shouldn't I? I worked so hard for this. And, you know, I really believe I visualize everything, and I always see one step. I don't go too far. And trust me when I say, if you see it, you get it.
Amen. I love that. And I love the fact that you came from nothing to something. And I think you appreciate the success even more.
But I grew up in a giant estate. So it's not like I came from nothing. And that's why a misconception that people think that because I came up this way, growing up, my father lost all his money.
Ooh, wow.
And so I watched it happen. And then so I took not a penny from my parents from 18. Not from 18. So I lived always myself. And then I built the businesses and everything else. But that made me driven, and I'm very, very driven, and I've never stopped for anybody.
Awesome. Tune in on Monday, 10 p.m. to Bravo's Ladies of London. Big round of applause for Caroline Stanbury.